everyone, it's Suey here. Today I'm doing a tag called Reading Books About Reading Books tag. It was originally done by Robert G., reader of books, and I was tagged by Book Chat with Pat. This is a fun one, just talking about reading and why we enjoy it. The first prompt is, what do you enjoy the most about reading? The most. I just gotta think of one most thing. The most thing I enjoy about reading is jumping into another world or another life and experiencing something as if it was me. Does that make sense? Like living and exploring another life and another world and another place and all the things that you get to do when you read a book. But I do have to say that I also enjoy the craft of reading/writing. And so I do really enjoy well put together words. Not to say that I enjoy necessarily like really fancy writing. I just enjoy how people put words together to make a story. What is the greatest benefit you get from reading? Well, I think for me, I don't know if it's for everyone, it's just having your mind be engaged in something and working and having something to look forward to, and I don't know, it just makes you feel alive. I really truly don't understand people who don't read. I don't get it at all. I can understand not reading a ton and not making that be your life or whatever, but not reading at all, I don't get it. The biggest benefit I would say is just having your mind engaged in something like that and learning new things, I guess, too, actually. Is there any other activity which gives you satisfaction similar to reading? I don't know if you've seen any of me talking about this before, and I know some of you will roll your eyeballs so big and crazy at this, but K-dramas fulfill the same satisfaction. TV itself does not. K-dramas do, because their story writing, their character development, their emotional intensity is very similar to a book to me, unlike other TV shows that I watch or that I've seen. I mean, there might be some that are like that, but it's almost without question, any K-drama I watch. They have got something going that there's other Asian shows like Japan and Thai. They also have shows that are very similar. I've not watched many of those. China also. So Asian dramas. I could just say Asian dramas. I haven't watched many of those other than the K-dramas. So that's why I say specifically K-dramas. They've just tapped into something that I don't know. I don't know how to describe. That's all just to say that it fulfills the same emotional engagement that reading a book does for me, which is why they very much compete for time in my life. So sometimes I'll be focused on a drama and sometimes I'll be focused on a book, and often they don't. It can't be at the same time. Do you have a dedicated time each day or specific days of the week set aside for reading? Not really necessarily, but I do tend to read in the evenings more than during the daytime or right before bed. And I do tend to read probably more on the weekends, maybe Sunday. Saturdays are usually a little crazy. But yeah, I guess it's mostly evenings. I wish I could do more. It depends on what's going on too. But most of the time I'm not reading during the day. Do you have a dedicated amount of time each day for reading? No, it's just what happens. Yeah, I'm not quite that regimented in my routine. So sometimes it's a little, sometimes it's a little more. Okay, I'm gonna go put these two together. What is your favorite essay or book about the joys of reading? And what is your favorite quote about the joy of reading? So my favorite quote is the Dr. Seuss one that says something about the more you'll read, the more you'll know, and the more you know, the more places you'll go, or the more something like that. And I always thought it was in this book, All the Places You'll Go. So I looked it up and realized that it's not in this book after all. It's actually in this book. I Can Read with My Eyes Shut by Dr. Seuss. I had forgotten about this book. You know, I don't know why, but in this book is that quote. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. So that is my favorite quote about reading. And then when I realized that it was in this book and I was looking through this book and I'm like, oh yeah. So now I'm going to say this book is also, even though I forgot about it, a really awesome book about the joys of reading. You don't need some deep philosophical, brainy book about reading. This really truly says it all. When I was just now looking through it, when I realized that that quote was in here, I was like, dang, this book is spot on about reading. If you haven't read it yet, you should go find it. If you were denied time to read, or if your access to books was denied you, how would you cope? If I had music, I would probably survive. But you can't take away my books and my music both. I need one or the other. Music also kind of gives you that same feeling that books and reading does. Even if you don't understand the lyrics, it's an emotional thing. It's not an intellectual hearing, deciphering words thing. It's an emotional thing. And music gives that to me too. So if I didn't have books, but I still had music, I would probably somehow survive. And if I had writing, I would survive by writing my own stories and listening to the music that inspires me. So tag others. Guys, why is tagging so hard? It's always because I just hate leaving people out. You know? And so when I say that I tag everyone, I truly mean it, because I just want you all to do it if you want to do it. And so I just always want to skip the tagging others, which is so dumb, because the whole point of this tag thing is to, connect with everyone. And by tagging people, it makes them come to you. So I know it's sort of a catch-22, this whole tagging thing, but please, if you want to do this one, do it. I know I made this one pretty short, but I guess my thoughts about reading were just simple, to the point thoughts. I hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.